Pink Foxx, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my home.
Tom Rhodes.
Pink?
Thanks for having me, man.
Does anybody call you Pinky?
Yes, I've been called Pinky many times.
I like that.
White people like to call me Pinky.
Then I won't.
Okay.
I never.
Why is that associated with the negative?
I stay away from all stereotypical white activities. I don't golf.
Really?
I don't listen to Jimmy Buffett.
That's funny. That's funny. Not a single Hawaiian shirt in the closet.
You can look at my closet. There is not one single Hawaiian shirt.
Really?
Yeah.
No straw hats.
No straw hats.
Birkenstocks?
Not a single pair.
Okay.
I've never owned a pair of Crocs.
Okay.
I've never had a goatee. And
cargo shorts? Cargo shorts?
I've got cargo shorts.
Okay, cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts are in now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're very fashionable. What's who are your style influences?
Oh,
or did
man.
you
I
just give birth to all this fabulousness on your own?
Oh, that's funny. I like many different styles. I like streetwear. I like when people give me cool stuff. So this is from like the Netflix festival, right? The comedy festival. These my sweatpants are from Pure Beauty. They sponsor me, and they sent me this really beautiful sweatsuit that was really cool with the
Pure Beauty, the
cannabis
excellent
brand.
Marijuana purveyors.
Yes.
Okay.
Love the lovely. The
I like because they have their packaging is yellow.
Yes, yellow.
Big fan of yellow.
Yellow, white, black, and pink as well. They have pink stuff, so it's really cool. They're awesome. So they gave.
How did you become friends with one of the number one marijuana purveyors?
Oh man, well you see, it all started when I don't know.
They're fans of your comedy, or?
I have a friend who's a weed rep, and
Okay.
he's worked for a bunch of different companies, and he services like a lot of young entertainers that also like blog and stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of in that rotation of like care packages and situations because I take photos and I put it on IG, and you know I'm not like a crazy pot comic, but I have a good collection of cool stuff from people.
I like their packaging. I like the Pure Beauty packaging. I love it.
Yeah,
and I've indulged in their products. I almost miss marijuana being illegal because it's like so expensive now, and
It is expensive, but that's
it
why.
was cheaper, and I kind of liked the criminal thrill of buying
Really?
marijuana. I remember years ago in Florida that there was a guy we got weed from, and we called it baby dope because you would actually have to hold this man's infant while he put the weed on a scale.
Baby dope. I used to buy my weed off a guy who sold AK-47s.
Wow.
Yeah, so I like going into a storefront because I don't have to worry about the fucking,
The cops kicking in the door.
Yeah,
and
man.
Who knows what else that they're selling?
They're
right?
shooting first and asking questions last. That's a white man thing to like the old way of doing it illegally because your life wasn't at stake. I was risking it all to get that nickel bag, son. That was crazy. So yeah.
It's nice. And so your style, you
Streetwear.
Yeah.
I like to dress up. So I have like, different blazers and stuff that are like some pastel colors, some dark blacks. Like I like a clean look, being able to put on something that's like a little more formal, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then I don't know. I like Rick Owens, Raph Simmons, usually what I'm dressed in. I'm just kidding. That's an A$AP Rocky bar. Very great rapper, poet, and also Rihanna's baby's dad and husband. So that's lovely. Yeah.
We love Rihanna.
Shout out to A$AP Rocky because, yeah, his lyrics are memorable. But, Raph Simmons, Rick Owens. I like Alexander McQueen. I've got, some Alexander McQueen stuff.
Because a lot of comedians don't dress up. A lot of them seem to dress down, for the stage. Even the ones that are making a lot of money, you see them dressed like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Every time I see certain comedians, they have that a really good sense of style and fashion. Like I know a couple, and it's not even like super expensive stuff. It's just like you see people that are dressed well. Dean Del Rey dresses really well.
Yeah,
he's got a very good fashion sense. I've never seen him not look like a mannequin. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's got like he's got a cool ass style. But yeah, just like a bunch of comedians that dress well. Who's the bums, Tom? Who do you think are the underdressed
I would never
comedians?
name names. I think I've gone as far as I've gone in this career without talking shit about other comedians. So why would I risk that now?
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. You're the sweetest guy.
And I had a black T-shirt on, and then you arrived, and you looked so good, I changed. So
Which I like the black T-shirt. The T-shirt was nice.
there we go, a little better framing.
But where's this from? This is a really cool company.
Yeah, it's Pendleton.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this brand. They're out of Pendleton, Oregon. They do a lot of Western wear stuff, but these blankets are Pendleton, and they do a lot of Northwest Native American tribal designs.
I love
and they'll do
that.
that on the clothes too.
Love that. Are they owned by Native Americans?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't know.
all right. I
don't know.
We'll look that up.
Okay.
We'll see if your dollar's been supporting another.
They just steal their designs and make money off of it. That's and sell it to white guys like me.
Yeah, he's like, I like it. It's so tribal.
That's my secret. I've been trying to dress like a guy from Oregon.
You look like if two white guys were going to get into a fight outside of a hockey game.
That's what I look like.
Oh, no, wait.
I don't like hockey. I don't like. Okay.
Wait, no. I'm sorry. That came out wrong, Tom. You're way too funny, man.
Okay.
Your deflection.
I'll finish the sentence. I look like two white guys getting into a fight in front of a hockey game.
If two white guys got into a fight outside of a hockey game, it'd be one guy dressed like you and another guy dressed like the Jimmy Buffett guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be like, because this is two extremes of dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is like cool dad. He lets you stay out late. He lets you smoke pot. And then you got like Buffett dad, who's like, cleanliness is next to godliness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he's making you wash your hands too much.
I did this because I went on this big trip to Montana, and I drove there, and I love going to thrift stores and vintage stores, and so I was really looking for vintage Western wear.
Okay.
And so I did the Skank Fest in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and I had some really great vintage Western wear on, and some guy in a Hawaiian shirt in the front row got up. And then, I don't know, maybe he was going to get a drink or go to the bathroom or whatever. And I was like, hey, man, when are the tropical people and the Western people going to get along? I'm tired of this division.
That's what I was, yeah, exactly. They don't get along at all. And there's nothing that they agree on, except for that Arbor Mist is a lovely product.
Arbor Mist, what's that?
It's like a wine. It's like a cheap box wine.
Arbor Mist?
Yeah. It also comes in bottles, but they've got anyway, I'm done making jokes, man.
That's okay. So, your story, you're originally from Camden, New Jersey, right?
I am from Camden. I was born in
outside
Camden.
of Philly?
Yeah, I was born in Camden. My dad's from Philly, but I was raised in a suburb outside of Camden. But my whole family is like, my mom's side founded Lawnside, New Jersey, which is like right next door to Camden. And it's so crazy. Like it's such a deep family like lineage and history with Jersey, because like we're from New Jersey, like we're really Jersey people. Like we founded a city, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it's pretty cool.
But didn't you as a teen move to Sacramento?
Well, no, as a 9-year-old, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you kind of did, yeah.
So my mom got married, and then we moved to
and then you grew up in
the
Sacramento.
Bay, and then I grew up in Milpitas, San Jose,
Yeah.
and then in Thomas Park in Sacramento. But then my mom got a divorce when I was like 13, turning 14, and then I was back in New Jersey, and then 14 through college was Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good balance of New Jersey and California.
Yeah.
Northern Cal.
Yeah. But I loved it, and I've been trying to get back here ever since, because it's like, it's such a different vibe, you know? Like Jersey's awesome, but like the West Coast is the laid back that I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works for me.
I'm purely a Californian.
Yeah.
I think it's worth the extra money for taxes, the extra money for rent,
Yeah, man.
everything.
I love my tent. It's great, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
So, and I think it's wildly interesting that your entertainment career started as an R&B singer.
Yeah, I was just saying.
And my ex-wife / best friend Ashna sent me this Instagram video of yours, and you were shredding on the guitar. I had no idea, because when you told me you had this R&B career, I just pictured you like smooth singer. I didn't know you had this like guitar shredding ability.
Yeah, man. I've been playing the guitar since I was 9. So there's that. My stepdad was a musician. He was a bass player. And we had like a mini studio in our house, and my mom sang and stuff. So
wow,
I've been around music my whole life. My uncle is one of the Coasters. You know the Coasters?
Yeah. What were their big songs?
Yakety Yak.
Don't Talk Back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
that's my dad's era.
Yeah, but they have people that keep it going.
Oh, that are still touring.
Like his son, the guy's son, and they still tour around and shit. My uncle's in that, and it has been in that for years.
You think he's tired of
they
singing Yakety Yak?
I don't know, man. They just put out a fucking album. They did like, you could look at like it's crazy, because you would think like, oh, you just sing with the band. Like no, like he literally just cut a whole album with these guys. He's a Coaster. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But yeah, I've been touring for a long time, and he's always got the best advice, because he's been on the road like my whole life. I had a big picture of my uncle when I was a kid with him and Michael Jackson, and just like a bunch of like people around. And he's like the uncle that I looked up to, because he was the one that was like traveling and singing and doing cool shit.
Yeah.
And so I did music growing up, and
how long did your R&B career last?
it just kind of stuck until I was over it. 20s, like early 20s, well, mid 20s.
Because you told me something really interesting when we were hanging out the last time. You said you were apprehensive about giving up your R&B career, going into comedy, because you were worried about giving up all the fine women that you were.
Oh no, that's not connected.
You told me that. You said
no, you merged like 3 stories in one.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah,
tell me these stories.
Okay.
But I think that's hilarious.
It's crazy. So I stopped doing music because I felt like I didn't see any transgender R&B singers, and I was not trying to be the first one. So that was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm not doing this.
There are no transgender.
There are
singers.
now, though.
Huh.
Yeah, there's trans rock stars and shit. Like, there's pop stars. One just performed at the awards and upset everyone. Fucking.
What awards?
Oh my God, VH1, I think, or
Okay.
one of those big like honors awards shows with music. I completely forgot which one, but
Upset everyone just by being themselves?
Of course, yeah. Kim Petras, pop star. She's transgender and she's awesome. And she did a song, and it's like kind of demonic, and people got up in arms. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like they only got mad because she was trans. I guess people are super Christian as well, but like, they just went the extra mile. They were just so pissed. And it's like, just people create art, not genders, not like, it's people that create art. So I don't know, but I didn't have that mindset when I was younger. So I was just like, from a marketing standpoint, I can't see where the target market would be for this particular project. And therefore that means that my investment into this project is kind of null and void. I could sit on these songs until it becomes popular. I could be the first and just launch some shit, but like, I could also just give this shit a break, especially so that I can kind of grow into myself as a person.
But if you have this musical talent, you can always do this. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
sure,
like,
but you're not thinking that
you're not
as a
going to get hit on the head and forget how to shred on the guitar
But
or
you don't
sing.
think that as a kid, though. You're like, as a kid, you're like, this is a life decision. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking away from music. And when you have those talents, you really don't. You choose when and when not to use them. And fortunately, I have the ability to utilize them again and make money off of my talents, which is cool. And also do something that I really enjoy without the pressure of it, like, oh, it needs to launch. Like, I have to, whatever. Like, I just go out on stage and have a good time because comedy is my main thing. So, yeah.
Well, I'm conflicted on 2 different questions here.
Okay. And about the women.
Yeah. Yeah, because you told me that.
I don't know if I said, I don't know what
And
I
then
said
we're
about
rolling, and
women.
then you make me look like I have the wrong information. You told me
What did I say?
conflicted
Oh,
about
'cause
giving up that career because there was a lot of nice women in your life at that period.
No. What I was trying to say was, or what
And
I
I'm
said.
saying this in the nicest, wholesome way possible.
Oh, I said crazy shit. Thank you, Tom. So, forgive me for chatting with a comedian while we're both smoking weed, but I would like to say that I speak about everyone very respectfully, on and off screen, because because I'm Zelensky, and these are my parts, and this is what I care about. I'm just kidding. You know, Tommy Boy. Zelensky's Callahan Auto Parts was Tommy Boy, but then Zelensky was the big guy that was buying the company, right? Did you see Tommy Boy, Chris Farley?
It's been years.
Oh my God. I thought you were
talking about the president of Ukraine.
No, I don't talk about war stuff. That's so crazy.
I'm like, wow, he's going deep. He identifies with the leader of Ukraine.
No. Did you say he?
He is Zelensky, the leader of Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't say he for you, no.
Tom misgendered me.
I didn't do that.
All right.
No. You rewind the tape.
All right.
But you weren't a woman when you were an R&B singer.
No.
So when did you have this feeling, and when did you make the transition? Did you always know?
You know what happened? I had hit the lottery, and I came up on $1 million. I haven't told anyone this, and that's completely fabricated. I'm lying. It's not the case.
And then you went and had your hair done, and you said,
I was like, I finally have enough
to wear the nice clothes,
to be pretty, and I'm gonna go do that now. No, I started to transition in college a little bit, so kind of like off and on, man. But what's more important is it's not like when you decided to do all this shit, it's that you decided to do all this shit. So when in your life did you know that you were, that really doesn't matter. What really matters is that you're doing it now.
The courage to,
and that you had because the story that I mostly want to convey, especially when in reference to music, to comedy, and then like as far as dating is concerned, because I talk about that on stage. When I transitioned, I just didn't know if I was going to still be dating. I'm attracted to women. I don't know if women are going to be attracted to me.
Maybe that's how you put it before when you were telling me that.
But that's how I tell that story to people. I really wasn't sure. And I think that guys really understand the leap of faith in throwing the dice on your sex life, where you're like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get laid again. Let me just see if this works. And, you're like, fuck it. I would much rather be the fullest version of myself and happy with myself than to be concerned with like the attention of someone and all of that other shit. You have to love yourself first. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, in loving myself and being proud of who I am and presenting the way that I do, I've found attraction, and that's great. And so are they. They're beautiful. So I'm just like, wow, okay, cool. It's surprising and also nice.
Yeah, and you told me you've been very happy with how life has turned out.
Yeah,
since
I love it.
Making that decision.
Yeah, comedy is fun, and it's really like, it makes me feel free, because I think when you're singing on stage, you can get trapped behind the lyrics a lot of time. Like if Beyonce decided to not sing for an hour and just talk to her audience, I don't know how well that would go over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's one thing to do that, and it's a completely different thing to do the other thing. And yeah, I really just love the freedom of comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I would say, like when I started doing stand-up comedy in the mid 80s, it was a very white, male-dominated occupation. I mean, there wasn't even very many women comedians. And it was, even harder for them to do the road. But there was a certain kind of bland white guy with like the bolo tie and the sports coat rolled up to the elbows. It's kind of Jerry Seinfeld cookie cutter kind of white guy thing. And I, my own self. I grew my hair long and I moved to San Francisco, and I didn't want to be that kind of person. But what I always say, I think comedy is more exciting now because there's more diversity, there's more different voices. There's, so many international comedians of every gender, sexual persuasion, international.
Yeah.
I've followed tons of comedians on Instagram that are in India and, all over the world. And it's, there's more the rainbow of flavors of humanity than it used to be. There's more stories being told.
Yes.
So what's your story?
I'm just a silly little person from Jersey, man. I like telling jokes.
When did you realize you were funny?
As a kid.
Yeah.
I was a very goofy child. I did a lot of shit to make people laugh. I've been punched in the face over jokes. You know what I'm saying?
I've been punched in the face over a joke.
Yeah.
When I was in high school.
It got a laugh too. I was in middle school. It got a laugh. Everybody died laughing, but the kid who the joke was about came and punched me. And I was like, well, it was...
That's what happened to me in high school.
I've paid the cost.
Yeah. I was in baseball practice and we were warming up doing these like calisthenics things. Mm-hmm. And I sneezed on my right hand. And the kid in front of me, I went, ooh, and I wiped my clean left hand on his back. And everybody laughed. And the kid turned around and punched me right in the nose.
That sucks.
And then it was big to do. Everybody wanted us to fight. And yeah.
That sucks. But you know what?
And I got called a pussy because I didn't want to fight this guy. I was just trying to be funny,
We've paid the cost.
We paid the cost to be the boss,
exactly.
as James Brown would say.
That's right. That's right. Because I said that because you told me about how much you love James Brown.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
I know my parents used to argue all the time. And if I was funny and silly, they would stop arguing for a minute. So I knew that there was like this real, there was some power to it that could alleviate tension,
Yeah.
And make my dad stop yelling at my mom for a minute.
I think hearing my mother laugh at the silly shit I did as a kid definitely it shaped my sense of humor. But my mom liked Def Jam and stuff. So I grew up like sneakily watching like Def Jam and Comic View. And then I found out about like Richard Pryor and stuff. And, I'm young, so like YouTube really helped with that because I can literally watch anyone
and study
for hours, and I have, and I show other people now, which is really cool because when younger comedians, even younger than me, come up to me and they're like, "Who do you watch? Like, what do you?" I can tell them like, "Okay, well, I fuck with this person. This person's really funny. This person's from the '60s. This guy's hilarious. Like." What kind of comedy do you enjoy? Do you like, urban stuff? Are you more into like women? Do you like Hispanic women? Do you like, which point of view do you feel like you'd be leaning in? Type of environment you'd be performing in? I don't know. And I could kind of point you in the right direction from there. But
who are your biggest comedy influences? I was pretty blown away when you told me that you love Sebastian Maniscalco because I don't see him in your comedy whatsoever.
Sebastian Maniscalco is my favorite comedian right now.
I don't see you,
but I'm not like a
busting out any like real Italian.
I'm not a mimicker though. I don't watch to mimic. So like, I love watching things that have nothing to do with my style. And I think that's why I like him so much because he is so different. But the storytelling is like really, really funny. But the gyrations and stuff, hilarious. But I've like, he's walked past me a couple times and I've been like, I shouldn't even say hi. Everyone else, I've met whoever I want. This is the one person.
No intimidation whatsoever.
The one person. No, not at all. I walked up to Ron White, like, hey man, love your shit. Like, and he, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny to think like, whatever. But yeah, it's a mind fuck being around all of you guys as a younger comic sometimes because you're like, I'm still honing my craft.
How many years have you been doing stand-up?
6.5.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A lot of people I look up to are like 20, 25 years in. 39 years in. That's crazy. And you have really cool stories because of it, you know? So
yeah.
I think that's the coolest thing about what we do is that we're able to talk to guys like you and get stories. Like, I love the stories because they're so important. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like movies. Everybody's cool stories, like, and you're a professional storyteller. Literally what you do. So I would expect you had a wall full of books as a professional storyteller and writer. And every dope comedian's house I've ever been over, they have books and records, and you could tell that they consume media, you know, en masse. So it's dope.
What's your story? What are the biggest obstacles you've had to overcome to be where you are today?
Well, I grew up with my dad in prison, so that's kind of my traumatic thing. Visiting my dad in federal prison, dealing with family because my dad's in prison, and people overcompensating, and my mom being married, and being raised a Jehovah's Witness because I was raised in a very stringent, well-known religion.
No Christmas.
Yeah, no Christmas, no birthdays, no Halloween, no anything, you know. But like,
wow.
But it didn't suck. Like, it wasn't like the worst thing
Prince
ever.
was a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people, dude. Like,
did you go door to door?
I went door to door.
Proselytizing.
I went door to door. I went to field service, as they call it, and that was cool. And yeah, and then watching my mom do music, that was also really cool. I watched my mom do big shows, and I've done my homework backstage a few times, and just kind of been there as a kid, like swinging my legs while musicians are running past and shit like that. Like, that's cool. And then being raised, you know, kind of as pursuing like a career, being 14, knowing what you want to do, and being in the studio with adults, and they're teaching you your craft at 14, 15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Picking you up from school to go straight to the studio. And you're going to be there until like 1 a.m. And then you got to get up for school the next morning. But the rule in my house was, as long as you're doing music, you can stay out. Like, as long as I know that that's what you're doing, it's fine.
Nice.
So I'd be able to stay into the studio with the guys like mad late, just cut records. That was cool. That was dope. And that's like where a lot of the practice comes from. But yeah, that was a hurdle within itself, going to school and doing like juggling that. So yeah, I base my stand-up on stories from all of this. Dating has been hilarious for me. And
well, hold on, before we move on to the dating, because I watched this clip on YouTube, and it was a Comedy Central set you did. And you talked about being raised Jehovah's Witness and that your father was in prison, and you and I don't know if it's the truth, but you asked your father what he was in for, and he said that he shot 4 people or murdered 4 people.
I didn't say murdered.
Okay, shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you had a funny joke that, you know.
Yeah, the only way I could shoot 4 people is if they line in a row. That's half of a fabrication.
Okay, good. Because there's like...
It's mostly embellishment.
Like people always go, yeah, you don't know if a comedian's, you know, bullshit.
No, it's mostly embellishment. But I would never get on fucking Comedy Central and be like, this is the crime my father committed. You know what I'm saying? But it makes for it's a good setup for the joke. And it's a masturbation joke if you can't. The only way I could shoot 4 people is if they line up in a row, and then I do that. And then it's disgusting. But it's funny. People laugh, and that's the job that we do. So yeah. But yeah, it's always fun talking about my dad. I told my dad, I called him on the phone. My dad's out now. He's been out for years. But I called him, I said, Dad.
Out of prison or
out of prison? Out of prison.
Okay.
What, like out of the closet?
Out of the closet.
No, dude. My dad is probably the straightest, toughest, like stone-faced guy I know. I've seen my dad go from 0 to 100. My dad's a scary fucking guy, bro. But he doesn't scare me. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of have like that kind of relationship. I love him. He loves me. And yeah, it's really dope.
Good. So no friction.
No. I don't have any friction with my dad. But it's so funny because he just goes into like, you know, like anybody that's lived in I think everyone that's lived a dangerous life, they tell stories about, whatever, and you never know what's real and what's fake. And my dad's a storyteller. And so that is the cool part about having my dad. My dad has really funny stories, really cool stories about when he was a fucking criminal. And I definitely get some of my sense of humor.
Your smile says it all.
But yeah, man.
I'll never forget the time I pulled out a gun and this guy shit in his pants. like these are the kind of stories.
That's a funny story. That's so funny. But yeah, stories like that. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Poor guy. Oh my God.
Okay, so what about dating? So you were getting ready to move on to, or you want to tell me more about your father?
No, I just was thinking about this one story he told me. So, okay, in Philadelphia, there are a lot of Muslims. There's a heavy Muslim population. So you see people that are in the whole outfit.
Yeah.
You've been to Philly.
Yeah, I got the scar in Philadelphia.
Oh, because you fell off the stool.
Yeah.
I know that story. And if you don't, make sure you watch Tom Rhodes. So just a plug, just take that as a clip. So basically, a lot of people have like the garb on, and women wear like the full hijab and situation. So my dad said him and his girlfriend were walking down the street, and the cops were coming. You could hear the sirens and shit. And then this Muslim woman runs by at full speed, and she's got like a purse in her hand or something. And it's like she's hightailing it, or as my dad would say, she was haul-assing right past him. So the guy runs past, or the woman runs past, lifts up the hijab, and then yells my dad's name. Hey, is that you? He's like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, I just robbed the bank. I gotta go. It's good to see you. And then flipped the shit back down and kept running. And that's hilarious. So yeah, man, just like stories like that, dude, is so funny. And who cares if that's fake? It made you laugh, right? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And clearly your father was no snitch, so there was no worry on her part.
No,
she identified herself.
No, yeah, my dad is. What's he gonna be like? Officer, he went that way.
Yeah.
Like, no, my dad's not that guy. My dad's the type of guy where my dad's block. God only knows what happens, but there's some wild people on my dad's block in Philly, and they're cool, but they're like, street people, right? So some shit happens. My dad gets a fucking bullet hole in his truck, and he knocks on the guy's door, and he goes, hey man, somebody got to pay for this. Like, it's just this, it's the funniest. It's like, bruh, it's a bullet hole in your truck, and you're going to where the bullet hole came from. Like, you're going to whatever the situation was. You're trying to figure that out. Like, hey, I'm gonna need some money for this. I don't know which.
That's a true badass.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I would never do that. I'd be like, well, guess I got a hole in my shit. I need better call Mako. You know what I mean? Is that just a paint place, or do they do body work?
Where?
Mako.
Oh, I think it's just paint.
Damn. I wish I would have had like a body work place.
Double AMCO. I still remember the commercial.
This is yeah. Yeah.
Because I get a lot of my sense of humor from my dad, and he had a really dark sense of humor. I was living in LA like 20 years ago, and like the Iraq War was happening. Some like what do you call them? Contractor. Somebody had been kidnapped, and it was the news for like 3 days. That, these like these militants were going to cut the guy's head off. They made him do the video. And they're hooded behind him and everything. So it was a couple days on the news that people were worried that this guy was going to get his head cut off. And then it was announced that they had, in fact, cut the guy's head off. And I was watching the news with my dad, and they go, and the guy's name was like Tim Johnson or something. And
that's not funny.
The newscaster.
Why is that the
newscaster?
Why is that funny?
Newscaster turns to the camera and he goes, We'll be right back with the reaction from Tim Johnson's parents. And my father goes, Tim lost his head before, but it was never anything like this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The name Tim Johnson is so funny because it sounds fake as shit, man. It sounds so fake, dude. Like if I were trying to like get a fake ID and sneak into a club, like
Tim Johnson.
Tim Johnson. That's such a funny name. Tragic. What happened to that man? Tragic. That's tragic.
So, how's your? Have you experienced any unpleasantness since you became a comedian, or has everyone been welcoming?
Oh, everyone's been so nice.
Has
I'm kidding. No, clearly some people have not been nice, but it happens, man. No matter what you get into, there are gonna be some people that don't like you. Everybody can't like you.
Yeah.
You have to pick and choose, and you know, the older guys that I look up to treat me like this. So if there's another, you know, anyone else that doesn't particularly like me or what I do or what I stand for, which is probably why somebody wouldn't like me, because they don't know me. The only reason someone wouldn't like me is because what I'm presenting and they hate the idea of that, but they don't know me. And you can't be, you know, take that personal. You can't be like super sensitive about shit like that. We have a job to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing I've learned in the last 5 years is you don't know what's going on in anybody's fucking head.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
Who hates what and what bothers. It's pretty frightening.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
So I didn't know what your experience has been.
No, I'm not frightened.
Like you told me you wouldn't. There's some regions you probably would not want to tour.
Oh, absolutely. But anywhere where it would be like, when I got there, they would try to fuck with me type states, I'm not going. I just wouldn't. There's money everywhere, literally everywhere. So for the you know, if you want to be like stubborn in your own heart and just go to places where they've clearly said like, hey, we don't even view you as a human being. Like I'm not one of those people. This is why when you look back on history, people like the freedom riders, man, that's really like, that takes a guts. That takes like real, like, you have to be committed to that and changing history, because to face oppressive people head on, knowing
hate you,
what the rules are, is crazy. I feel like my form of rebellion, in a sense, is being on stage. So whether or not it's in a place that doesn't welcome me, or if they just have access to my content down there, I feel like I'm still doing the same job. You know what I'm saying? And if they really want to see me, fly to somewhere where I'll be. Just come see me there. But while the rules are weird in different states and shit, I'm not doing that. So yeah, but you have to think about that about everything. I mean, you know, would you go and stay in a place that is like a known violent place for the sake of doing stand-up comedy? And we're not even talking about the check. We're just talking about like the love of what you do. Like, or you know, like a place where they're like shooting and killing. You'd go?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I like to think I'm heroic, but yeah, I don't want to.
I perform for the troops. I would absolutely do that if there's some type of whatever down the line and they actually give a fuck about a transgender comedian in the military. I'll go and support the troops, because I grew up, my grandfather was military. I got family that's military. So I love those guys.
Yeah, go.
My bad. Am I talking too much?
No, please let it out.
I'm going to. Quiet down now.
You said but? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. So I lost it, but it's okay.
You said if the military invited you?
Yeah, if the military invited me to perform, I would perform, right? Like I would go overseas. You know, people do like support the troops.
Yeah.
You know those shows. I would do something like that like later.
I've done so.
Oh, that's awesome. I would do that. But like to go to like a city where they're like, hey, this is the thing that's not, you know, we don't fuck with trans people. And this is why. And it's some propaganda, shit like that. Like, I'm not going, bro.
Wasn't it interesting that people forever like praised the United States for being a country where you can be whatever you want to be, And then there's a big, large group of Americans that go, well, yeah, no, you can't be that. But these are the same people that are like, this country's so great because anybody can be whatever they want to be. But no, you can't be that. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like that's.
Yeah. I think that's really that's ironic, isn't it?
You made us realize where our boundary is.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, we have a line against that thing that you're doing. So yeah, we don't want to fuck with that.
Did you know this? Did you ever hear the story? What you're talking about? Oh, the coffee's finished.
Oh, lovely.
I
thought we were being bombed because we had spoken so much about.
Yeah, that's good.
It was like beep. I was like, oh shit.
The cultural police are gonna kick in.
It's the FBI, dude. It's the CIA, man. They're here.
Did you ever hear the story about Dick Gregory? He was
psyoped or something. What happened?
No, he was the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first black comedian to ever be hired by the Playboy nightclub chain. Mm-hmm. And like in Chicago or whatever, the first time he played, there was some like racist white car dealership owner from the South and who was, hitting him with racial slurs or whatever. So Dick Gregory had he asked his wife to say the worst racial shit to him around the house. Like he'd be ironing a shirt or whatever, and for her to just come by and just so he could practice not getting ruffled when somebody said some horrible shit to him. And I read that a few years ago or saw it in an interview somewhere and just blew my mind that, because Rosa Parks, apparently she practiced for that moment, for when she would be confronted on the bus and for people to tell her to get back. And I only learned that years after the fact,
Where'd you read that?
I don't remember, but it was apparently she had, had mentally prepared herself for that moment to do.
I would assume that you would mentally prepare yourself, but I don't know if you're standing in the mirror calling yourself the N-word. You know what I'm saying?
Not on
an audition.
Yeah. But Dick Gregory apparently had his wife yelling racial slurs at him.
I feel like he set that up. That was like a kink or something, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I really like this, and here's an excuse. Hey, baby, just say awful shit to me. Guys pay thousands of dollars for that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll also stomp you in the nuts.
Yeah, I'm too sensitive for that kind of role playing.
You know it's crazy that I don't yuck anyone's yum, but that's such an interesting idea to pay someone to stomp you below the belt. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be like, do you really mean that? I'd start crying.
Yeah, I'm too sensitive for that too.
Yeah.
But you date Latin women, right? You've dated Latin women.
Sure.
They'll curse you out, man.
All
the Latin women in my family will curse you the fuck out. They're like my cousins. They're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dated an Iraqi Kurdish woman when I lived in Amsterdam, and she had quite a temper.
What is Kurdish? Where is that from?
The Kurds they don't have a homeland, but they're in Iraq and Turkey.
Oh. And
they're persecuted by Iraqis and Turkish people. They've had it rough.
So
they don't have a homeland.
So the Kurds are in Turkey?
In Turkey and Iraq.
In Iraq. Okay. So she's like different Middle Eastern mixes? What was the other mix?
She's from Iraq, but she's Kurdish.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but she had. It sounded like a Saddam Hussein speech when she got angry.
Really? Oh my!
Cut off your head and shit in your neck, that kind of thing.
Did she really go there?
Easy. I forgot to put the cap back on the toothpaste. Why the extreme
Oh my
violence?
goodness. Well,
So what were you going to tell me about dating?
I've never had that happen. No one's ever offered to shit in my neck. That's wild. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Tom. It's so funny.
It's okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. If there's anyone out there that is offering to shit in someone's neck, please seek help. Please just get some anger management. You keep getting smaller. And like I'd look at this and you're smaller.
I'm getting taller.
And I'm like,
I want to make you look taller.
No, don't make me look so big, man. I look huge. I'm kind of big. I'm not like that big though. This is like fluff. Anyway.
You don't want to say it again, do you?
Yeah.
That I've lost 40 pounds?
Yeah. I just wanted everyone to know. On which diet?
Heartbreak and hot yoga. That's my secret.
It's a book that's coming out by Tom Rhodes.
Yeah.
Heartbreak, hot yoga.
So what were you going to tell me about dating?
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have anyone new in my life, but it's fine.
You don't have a solid relationship? You have many...
I'm free, Tom. I'm free.
Well, hallelujah.
I wear what I want.
Yeah.
I eat what I want. I pretty much date who I want.
That's good.
It's cool. This is a level of freedom that is...
Man, you told me you're really enjoying Los Angeles, and it's quite a festive city for all the exciting people that you know.
Yeah. There's always something going on here.
Yeah.
And I enjoy going out to all of these places that I usually go out to. And that is the magic of living in LA and being an entertainer.
There's always fun stuff going on.
There's always fun stuff going on, and you can always meet new people, which is really cool. And I like seeing some of the same people because they're really cool. But yeah, I've got some really cool little groups of people that I hang around out here.
Well, maybe we should spend more time together because
Hey, man, I'm down.
I think I only know boring people in Los Angeles.
Well, I don't think that'll last for long after hanging out with me. They'll love you. They'll be like, Tom, tell us a story. And you'll be like, all right, this is the time that I met Howlin' Wolf in a rib shack in Mississippi. You'll be like, oh, shit, man. So, you know, I love that. You should definitely come hang out when we do. There's a karaoke night that my friend does.
Oh, I love karaoke.
In Koreatown. You got to come to that.
Where in Koreatown?
Oh, man. I don't know the streets, but it's a great...
The last time I lived in LA, I lived in Koreatown.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you told me about that. Yeah.
In the Gaylord, that building. Do you know that?
I have known many Gaylords, but I've never been to that building.
Do you know where the HMS Bounty bar is?
No.
Yeah, that's in the ground floor of
Bounty
the
Bar doesn't sound like a place that black people should hang out.
Yeah, there's a cooler bar a block over called the Prince.
Okay, I would hang out at the Prince.
The Prince is the cooler
But the
place.
Bounty Bar is like, that sounds a little like redneckish for some reason.
Yeah, I mean it's the Prince is way cooler.
Okay, I go to the Prince. I went to this one bar down here. When I say down here, I mean LA. But I went to this one bar that was like the Austin Powers movie. It was called the Electric Pussycat. And they had an Austin Powers theme in the drinks and everything. And it was like the theme all the time, you know. And they had an impersonator come through sometimes. And he brought the women and he would do the dance and they'd play the song. It was crazy. Yeah. Good place.
What's your go-to karaoke song? What's your show?
Sweet Home Alabama gets me every time. Right here.
You sing Sweet Home Alabama?
With my whole heart.
I don't believe it. Really?
Oh my God, man.
Seriously?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
You gotta I love it, man. I take out a Make America Great hat, one of them shits, put it on, put a piece of hay in my mouth and go to town. No, that's not the song that I'm just fucking around. I usually sing like, do you know this one? Sex is on Fire by Kings of Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sing a lot of that.
Girl, girl, your sex is on fire. That's your tune?
Yeah, man.
Okay, that's a good one.
Lay where you're laying, don't make a sound. I know you're watching, Yeah,
Good one.
thank you.
Nice.
I just like the way he says, yeah. So I like that. I will sing Led Zeppelin. I love Led Zeppelin, by the way.
Which Led Zeppelin song?
Name one, man. Can't sing Stairway. People always,
I
think
think tell you what's really amazing.
Black Dog.
Black Dog is great. How the West Was Won. Do you know this? They put this out about 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Or no, 2003.
I bet I know the
this came
songs
out.
on it, but I don't know. I can't place the album off the top of my head, but I bet I know the songs.
It's called How the West Was Won. So it's all these, it's them live at the LA Forum and then live at the Long Beach Arena.
Oh, wow.
And it's just mind blowing
Really?
what these guys did in California. These concerts are so good. Yeah, that's.
Have you heard of Greta Van Fleet?
Yeah.
I love them. They're like the new Zeppelin.
Seriously?
Yeah. I'm so serious. You got to listen to them.
Okay.
They sound just like Zeppelin. But yeah, I try to sing. What did I do? I did, I think I might have sang some Sade. I might have been trying to get smooth with some Sade.
Smooth operator. Cherish the day. If you were mine, I wouldn't want to go to heaven.
I quote one of her songs on stage during my set where I talk about how music's not the same. But yeah, I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give.
Yeah.
Gave you love. That's deep.
Yeah.
And, I gave you all that I had inside, and you took my love. You took my love. No. But yeah, it's a great, great song. And she's such a good fucking songwriter.
I love Sade.
It's so good, man. But yeah, shit like that.
Okay. So I would love to go to karaoke night with you in Koreatown. Please invite me the next time you go.
What size heels what size do you wear?
10.5.
Okay, cool. I got some 10.5 pumps. And then we've got a wig for you. It's a whole thing. It's drag queen karaoke night.
Are you kidding me?
And Tom is coming, and we're gonna dress him.
I'll do it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. These are not drag queens at all.
I've got great legs. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
I've been hiding these legs in pants for too long. The world needs to see. My fucking calves are so ripped.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll get you laced up with the mini skirt or some small shorts. But,
so next week, I've invited you to do this very special show in Venice Beach called Love is the New Money. What do you think of the title, first of all?
I love it because it's true. Yeah. Love is the new money.
That's kind of how I'm trying to operate in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of the Sade lyric.
Yeah.
You know? All I have is my love to give.
Yeah, I feel it. I love it. I can't wait. I'm sure I have stories that.
So it's going to be like I want you to do some stand up, but also I want some like a powerful story from you. So what?
I'll tell the story of the first time someone called me the N-word. That's powerful.
Yeah.
First time someone ever called me the N-word.
Wow.
Raleigh, North Carolina. I'll never forget that woman. It was crazy. Yeah.
Do you want to tell us, or do you want to?
No, I'm going to save it for the show.
Okay, but what about the people watching the podcast?
They should buy tickets.
But not everybody lives in California.
Then they should buy flights, then tickets. I'm just kidding. No, it's long story short, because you'd have to be there. I was playing basketball with a group of kids in Raleigh, North Carolina. I lived on this golf course, really nice golf course community.
In Raleigh.
Yeah. And, needless to say, people were racist. They were having a Klan rally on Main Street, like when I moved there. And it was crazy because I didn't know the Klan still marched, honestly. It was quite the throwback. Not in a good way. Not like, oh, Boyz II Men is playing. No, the Klan is downtown. That's crazy. So, The only other time I heard the Klan is downtown, it was Wu-Tang in 2010 when the Roots Picnic decided to, like, it was, you know what I'm saying? And I went down and I had fun. But yeah, it was interesting. So we're playing basketball and it was drop ceilings when you first walked in, and the ball hit the drop ceiling and it fucking sprinkled everywhere and it broke one of the panels. And the panels at Home Depot are like $1. Like, they're not expensive, super easy to
What do you
fix.
mean drop ceiling?
Like, you know, like in an office building, how they have like the drop ceiling, you could push it up.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
There was like that and like one of those lights, and the fucking ball bounced up and broke one of the things, and the tile fell down, and it was a mess. But it was easy. Like, it's like particle board, you know. It's so easy to replace. Anyway, so this woman came in from the front desk and had her friend with her. And she was just like, do you believe this? They were like tripping. And the woman was like, yeah, these fucking niggers. And I was like, wow. And I was sitting right there. Like, she did it like where you are.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's nothing. It's like 10 big black guys running a game of basketball. I'm sitting there listening to this shit because I just got finished playing. And yeah, I lost. So I'm on the fucking bench. And then she comes in and calls me a nigga to my face. I'm already upset because the team was down by, it doesn't matter. But it's just interesting because when I called out to the guys, I was like, yo, she's over here saying wild shit. They just shoot her off. Like, they didn't care. Nobody gave a fuck. Like, it was normal. Like, they were like, fuck her. And that to me was like, wow, bro. Like, I'm not the type of person, that's never happened. And I wasn't able to be so nonchalant about being called the N-word by this white lady. It was crazy. And I love everybody. I'm mixed and shit. Like, it was so outrageous. But anyway, yeah. So, I don't know. It's weird when like,
what I mean,
there's grown adults.
did it like shatter your innocence? What was the?
Yeah, because it's like,
what was the most powerful element of it that like just fucking burned into your brain forever? I mean, aside from the hatred and having the word.
When I said something to her, she just repeated it in my face, like, and like it was worse. I was like, oh, you don't care, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the adults that are in here, they don't care, and there's no one telling you. There's no one checking you.
Nobody came up.
There's nobody saying anything to you.
You're out of line, lady.
No,
you got to get out of here.
Nope. They just let that shit happen like it was normal, like it was the right thing to do.
Wow.
And that was the thing that really stood out to me, was that no one said anything. That really bugged me. I don't know where that kind of fits into my life now, but yeah. That was crazy. Yep, so that's that story, and there's way more details in the long version.
Okay. I'm sorry that happened.
It's cool. I'm not, it's not like turmoil.
I lived in North Carolina. I've spent a lot of time in the South. And I mean, just in recent years, you've seen many videos of people just not giving a fuck. And
dude, it's crazy.
It's
that's the most racism.
The shit that's going on behind some people's heads is just astonishing.
The most racism that I ever experienced in my life was living in North Carolina, because even my teachers were racist. And that was the shit that was.
Could you sense it, or they actually came out and said it?
They're not going to stand up there and just be like, yeah, hey, we're racist and proud. I don't know about that. But we also, like, I'm probably the last generation that didn't have camera phones in every grade.
Yeah. To capture.
Yeah.
Teacher saying fucked up things.
Yeah, no, we just had to go home and tell people, like, that's it. So, and if the phones did have videos, they weren't that good. It was probably like a razor flip bullshit. Like, I think I got my first iPhone when I was like 17, and we're talking like 4 years before that. So anyway, the shit was fucked up. When I'm sorry.
No, please.
When you're a kid, right? They make you read those slave books. Did you read the slave books? Like Uncle Tom's Cabin, or like,
oh yeah,
like fucking, I can't even remember any of the other ones.
I have an old copy of.
What? In here?
Yeah, I found. Where is it? Yeah.
Oh, don't pull it out, Tom. All right, let me see it.
I think it's 100 years old.
This is one of the originals. Some slave had this book.
I found that I like used bookstores and
Was
stuff.
there a help note in any of the fucking
Health?
help?
Oh, hilarious. But yeah, just for the, because it looks like it's, I don't know if it was a first edition or what, but
It sounds like an old book. You know that sound?
yeah.
It's so crazy.
I wasn't assigned this in school, and I don't think I actually ever read the book. You know?
Yeah, we had to read this, man. The way old books smell
But didn't
is
it,
like,
it wasn't the thing about this book didn't it bring awareness to how horrifically slaves were treated? Wasn't that
it's books like this and stories like Huckleberry Finn with like, you know, N-word Jim
yeah.
and shit. And teachers, like especially white teachers in the South,
They loved it.
they call on white students to say those N-words.
Oh, wow.
They do in class because it's a read out loud situation. And they know what they're doing, man. I'm an adult now, so it's like you could easily just not read that book out loud. Or if the teacher was the only person to read that part, there's things you can do.
Yeah.
You know, but like, no, just, you know, and then you'd have to sit and then everybody would look at you and like smirk when the kid said, you know, the name or the N-word or whatever. Kind of like there's nothing you could do about this. And that's the worst part about that. And so, yeah, I experienced all of that shit at one time. And yeah, it was pretty telling. It was interesting for sure. But that's not all people. It's not everyone. You know, I don't condemn.
Should I throw away that book?
No, keep the book. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But it's
Because I've never read it.
no. But you can't condemn like a whole race of people for a few people being assholes. And I was just never that person. But yeah.
What about as a trans woman? Has people blatantly said some horrible shit to you like that?
Oh yeah, I've been called a faggot a couple times. But you said you.
But I
have
mean,
too.
come on, I've been called the F word 9 trillion times because I grew up in a house of toxic masculinity, especially my older brother who, when I was 13, he thought I was going to be gay because I was so sensitive and girly, and he decided to beat the gayness out of me. And I haven't spoken to him in a few years because his beatings have continued for other reasons. But he still takes credit for me not being gay because he beat me up so bad when I was 13. He's not a very sensitive fellow. But
Gotta pull the weapon on your cousin.
and then I started to grow long hair in the South, and I was playing around the South. So, but my brother, everything, if you weren't manly, you know, you were the F word. So,
Yeah, I had to stab your cousin.
and I mean, before I even left the house, I was called the F word 9 trillion times. And then
My family doesn't play like that. One time my cousin told my other cousin to suck his dick over the phone, and probably 15 minutes later, my other cousin pulled up with his gun out. He was like, invite me to your dick again, I'll blow that shit off. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was wild. They have it at my dad's house. It was wild. Yeah,
great stories.
thanks.
So what powerful story you want to tell on my Love is the New Money show? The N-word in Raleigh?
The N-word. Let's tell a story about the N-word, folks. I could do that one. It's another really cool story that I have. I could tell stories about being, I could tell a story. My first crush. You know what? Here's the story. Love letters. Not everybody has received a love letter in their life. But for those of us who have, we have stories about receiving love letters. And I got a really cool story about love letters that I just remembered yesterday because I was telling someone else.
Okay. This probably won't come out until after we do our show next week. So do you want to tell me or no?
I'm going to wait for that one. No, it's there was a girl who had a crush on me in high school. And she wrote me like a 4-page letter. And it was crazy. And I you have to be delicate with people. And she was cute. She wasn't like, whatever. She was just really shy. She was super nerdy. And it was quite interesting because I thought back to myself, the only time I got a letter like this was a breakup. And that happened when I was a kid. I had like a breakup letter like given to me. And that's awful to read. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit really sucks. But when you're a kid, you bounce back is crazy. So my first crush story kind of goes with the love letter story, and I would merge those two. And yeah, there was a kid who told me that he had a crush on someone when I started like 4th or 5th grade. And I was brand new to the area, so I didn't know anybody yet. And when he pointed out the girl that he had a crush on, she was gorgeous. And naturally, I had to go say hello. And I started dating that girl. And then me and that dude had a problem the whole school year. We argued the whole school year. And the girl was the reason. And she broke up with me at one point and started dating him. And then stopped dating him and started dating me again. She would just like hop back and forth between both of us.
Wow.
It was crazy. And then we had dumped her, I think that last time. I dumped her and then he dumped her. And then me and him became friends at the end of the year. We shared a laugh and that was cool.
And what happened to her that year?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. But if you're out there, I'm just kidding. No, I'm sure she's great. She was gorgeous then. She's probably gorgeous now. But that was like my first crush, really. Well, my like second or third crush, but like my first real crush.
Okay.
Because you have crush on like your mom's friend or something.
No.
I did. So my mother.
All my mom's friends were really religious.
So
I knew.
What does that mean? That doesn't stop your attraction to people. You're like, oh, you're religious. No, but my mom had not my mom though, but my grandmother had a friend who was like, I don't know, this younger lady. She was gorgeous. And she like lived around in the area where like my grandparents' big house was. And so when I went around there, she would come around sometimes when like my grandfather would throw events and shit. She was really pretty. So
what was the point of the love letter story?
Oh, I don't know, man. We're just talking. Man.
That you ended up being friends with the guy.
Yeah. Okay. That it's never worth it. Because at the end of the day, you eliminate the thing that you guys are arguing about. And you never know. You can be friends. You know what I mean? Like if I could have took my skin off when that lady called me a nigger, maybe we'd be friends. Because she was like, oh, you're actually white. Like if I wiped it off, I was like, surprised.
Wow.
Maybe we'd have been. No, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, that's part of that story, the love letter story. There's a time that I snuck into the Roots picnic because the Wu-Tang Clan was performing. That was cool.
Who's your favorite Wu?
Method Man.
Okay.
He's very nice. He was very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. He listened to my music and everything.
Nice.
He talked to me for a little bit. It was cool. Meeting Method Man was probably my favorite, and I was a kid too. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be like, yo, what's up, son? I was like, oh, shit. It's Method Man. He talks like that.
Oh, I know something I wanted to mention to you. On the video, and I saw this, it's interesting because when I'm on stage, and it happens subconsciously, I sound a little more Southern for some reason. Mm-hmm. And the videos I saw you sound a little more like you're from Philadelphia than you speak in real life.
Really?
But
what's a Philly accent?
I don't know if it's Philly or New Jersey, but
Probably Jersey.
And it's just like a slight little, and I thought, wow, that's interesting because I feel like I have that same, and it's subconscious, and it's not huge. It's not like some fake persona or anything, but it's just like a little more amplification of.
I think that when you're talking to a group of people, your voice changes from when you're talking to one person.
Yeah.
But if you hear me say words like coffee and English,
yeah,
then, it's like, oh, there's that accent. English? What the fuck? It's English. People say that all the time. But yeah, man. And then you also, speaking the Queen's English is very handy in this world. And so, being able to speak properly, I take a lot of confidence in my ability to express myself in a way that most people will understand and they won't get hung up in my twangs or any of my colorful colloquialisms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if I was chilling with a bunch of homies, I'd be like, hey, what's poppin'? And shit like that. It's the kids call it code switching, but I like to call it being bilingual. I speak
code switching. What does that mean exactly?
It means you have like a white voice.
Okay.
You're like, hello, how are you? So I don't know if my voice is like white, so to speak, because I don't think that there's white doesn't mean intelligent, and I think people say that to like mixed kids a lot. Like, you sound white. Like, that's a thing that we deal with.
Oh, like it's a compliment or something.
No, they don't say it as a compliment. It's like from black kids, it's like, you talk white, but like from white people, they mean it as a compliment. They're like, yo, you talk white. And you're like, I don't want to hear this from anybody right now. This is crazy. So yeah. How do I sound to you?
Like Pink Foxx?
I think so, man.
Yeah.
I have a
No, it's only watching the video that I noticed, that you just sound a little more Northeast.
Oh, yeah.
And I think on stage, people have pointed out to me that I sound a little more Southern.
Oh, yeah. I said that.
Yeah, but it's not like and I'm very influenced by Black Southern preachers.
I like it, though.
The way they hit the consonants and draw out the syllables and things like that. I'm not ashamed at all.
Right.
And I'm also, Bernie Mac is one of my favorite comedians. So he kind of also had that same vocal rhythm, and the way he,
Did you meet Bernie?
No, I loved Bernie Mac. So
Really?
One of my favorites.
So Bernie Mac is your Sebastian Maniscalco?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's not a guy that's like super old. You know what I mean? Like he's close to your age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I loved it. And you talked about Def Comedy Jam, the first thing
Right.
and I watched that performance he did a million times.
It's a great
And like on the road, if I needed a little, inspiration, having a low day or something, like pull that up on YouTube.
Did you hear Tapes from a King? The new project that just dropped on Kevin Hart's network. It's all Bernie Mac's.
Oh, no, I just saw a commercial for that because I have the Sirius.
I listened to it twice.
Really?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Yes, thank you. I listened to it twice, man. It's great.
Okay, great. I have it. I'm going to, because I have the Sirius XM app.
Oh, yeah. I downloaded it strictly for Bernie.
Just for Bernie.
Yeah.
And it's a program, and you can listen to it on its own.
You can listen to you just go to the Kevin Hart radio thing, you type it in, and it pops up, but it's great.
You don't understand.
I ain't scared of you, mother.
When you're giving your girl the dick.
Classic
And she
stuff.
tried to answer the telephone. Hello.
Did he talk like that off stage?
I don't know.
I think they said
But he was very Chicago,
Yeah, he's very Chicago.
Yeah. So.
It don't make no motherfucking sense. No motherfucking sense.
Okay, what is the joke that you've written that you're the most proud of?
Probably my opener. Yeah.
Would you like to share that with us?
Oh, I don't like the word tranny. I much prefer build a bitch. I'm a build a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. I like that joke.
Like Build-A-Bear. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of takes like tranny back immediately, like right when I start. Like, I don't like the word tranny. And also, it's like, it's making a statement up front. And I like jokes like that, where I can make a statement and then back it up in the punchline.
Yeah.
And the setup. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those ones for me it's just one of my favorites. And Click It Like a Seatbelt.
Yeah. You told me that joke.
Yeah, man.
And then I saw it in the video.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like continue to have jokes like that have like those tags. Like, I could put Click It Like a Seatbelt on a t-shirt. And if you heard that joke, you know, you laugh your ass off because but little stuff like that. I'm working on some stuff now that's more in depth, more story-esque, and I like that. And those are my top two. What are your top two? Is it the Barstool?
No, I used to do this joke about mix the races years ago. I think it's one of my most proudest jokes.
I'm a product of your comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was God, what was it?
Thanks to Tom Rhodes, my family, my parents.
Oh my God, I forget how it goes, but it was we got to keep mixing the races until we're all the same grayish color, and then there'll be no more racism once we're all the same shade. You know, Hey, gray, who you calling gray? I forget how the joke goes, but it was 20 years ago. That was a joke I was really proud of. And envision the day when we can hate someone for the person that they are, and it's not connected to who they are, their identity.
Right.
That just when you can individually hate someone for being an asshole.
Yeah.
That's when we'll really experience progress.
Yeah.
On this planet.
I agree. I got a joke that I'm literally the new one that I was just talking about. The phrase "only an asshole would," and then the rest of what I'm saying, but is literally I'm talking about people that decide they don't give a fuck about your pronouns. Like those people that are just adamant about not giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Not like in the sense of like, do your own thing, but like in a sense of like, I'm going to misgender you on purpose because I don't give a fuck how you feel about it.
Right.
And that to me is like, what kind of asshole offends someone on purpose that they don't even know? Just for the sake of whatever, you know? If someone asked me to refer to them in a certain way or no. The joke is basically... People say trans people make them use specific pronouns. Like, you're making us do, but I'm not making you do anything. I'm telling you how I'd like to be addressed. If you decide that you don't want to be a good person and you whatever, then that's you. And I've found that anyone that offends someone on purpose is probably an asshole. And then the joke goes into why that kind of person is an asshole. And it'll continue to build out. Like, I'll write more of that joke and define an asshole. And yeah. I'm a binary trans person. So like my pronouns are she, her.
Okay.
I'm on estrogen. If I put a dress on in this motherfucker, I could fill it out. Yeah. But I dress baggy when I'm doing comedic things. And I dress kind of more... I lean masculine for like my dress up shit, but there's also like a flair of like feminine in my shit. Like I like the middle. I like the androgynous clothing aspect more than, because it's just fun to play with. But yeah, she, her. Like, You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
It is funny. I think that's a brilliant joke. And it's, it makes a similar statement than the one I was doing like 20 years ago. But why do you think people are so fucking upset by... I mean, it seems like the whole idea of trans humans is too much for the small Southern brain to handle. Like that woman with the in Raleigh.
I don't know, man. I'm a biohacker, Like I'm cool. Like I'm doing like cool shit with my body. And if you don't want to do this shit, you don't have to.
Biohacker. I like that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, man. I'm biologically hacking my shit. Like I'm mixing hormones up and doing shit. It's my body. I enjoy it. I'm pretty. My hair grows really long. All the things work out. So, you know, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But I think what I do with my body is my business, you know? And that's that. That's the, you know, the aspect of like hormones and surgeries and things like that. As far as how we feel and, you know, the identity itself, that's a completely different conversation. That's a really deep, you know, who you are conversation. And being who you are is important. You know, we only get one life that we know of. Be who you are. And for those who don't believe that, who think that there's an afterlife and there's a great place where you can go and then you'll be able to be free, by all means, don't do what I do. You know what I'm saying? But while I'm doing what I like to do, this is what I believe in.
That's fantastic. You know, I was about to ask you in closing, is there any words of wisdom or advice you have for the people of the earth? But I think you just nailed it. I think that says it all. Do you have anything to add that would make people's lives better?
Yes. Like, do you have any last words? Please, spay and neuter your pets.
And floss.
No, man, that's it. I appreciate being here. It's always fun.
I think you're a beautiful human being, and I'm
man.
just, thrilled to be your friend, and I'm so grateful that you're going to do this show with me next week. And
Likewise. Thank you for embracing such a unique person, such as myself. That means a lot to
You're
me.
easy to love, Pink.
Stop.
You're easy to love. And one day, we're both going to have enough money that we're going to reopen Red Fox's old comedy
That'd
club.
be cool.
La Cienega.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's like the goal for me, by the way. Like, that's like, I really want to, you know what? It's not even the fact that like, that's exactly what I want it to be. But I would love to see that club and what it looked like and be able to walk around in it. And it maybe be cool if it turned back into a comedy club, but...
Or maybe you could recreate it in a movie. Because you know how the improv,
yeah,
they destroyed the front bar where comedians used to hang out. And they made it like some Tex-Mex restaurant. And was it Adam Sandler made, was it the funny movie, Funny People?
Funny People, yeah.
With the money from the movie, he had them rebuild that front bar the way it used to look. And that's why it looks the way it does now.
Really?
But they had actually ruined the friggin' the front bar.
Really?
And it was his money from that movie so he could film in there that they recreated the way it used to look. So maybe like, you start rolling out some movies.
I could just
You
recreate
just
shit.
recreate it.
That's cool. Adam Sandler seems like a really cool person.
He seemed like a good guy. I don't think he's hurting anybody.
No, I'd like to play him in basketball though. For sure. Oh yeah. I gotta play Adam Sandler. That's like on my list. Play Adam Sandler in a game of basketball.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's decent.
Okay.
He loves playing basketball though. Like every clip I see, he's like playing basketball. And like very impromptu. Like he'll just go and be like, "Hey, can I run a game?" And,
What do you think of guys that wear basketball shorts all the time? I'm really. I mean, if you're playing basketball, it's one thing, but to wear basketball shorts out in public,
I don't know.
I see a lot of guys doing this.
I don't see any guys doing this. It's LA, man. I'm not seeing a bunch of people running around in basketball shorts. People are wearing Lululemon and shit. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I haven't seen that since like the 90s probably, or the early 2000s when it was in style.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I've seen a few.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we getting food after this?
Yes, we are. Let's go get some food.
All right,
We're hungry.
let's get some food.
All right.
Can I say something?
Please.
I don't know where this is going. Where is this going? It's going on YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Or to whoever.
And the audio will be on my podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's Tom Rhodes Smart Camp. I hope we said something smart.
Okay, I love that. You make it very easy to banter with you, my friend. It's because it's not like, this isn't 60 minutes. So it's nice to be able to like sidestep a question and then just say some stupid shit. You're a good friend. I'm glad I know you.
You're a good friend too. And I'm not, that was like a secret college. Just get like the crossed pinky. That was like a secret shake. Yeah, I just want to.
I know
I just want you to be yourself. I love the person that you are, and I'm not like laying out any hard questions. Yeah. Like like the story with the woman calling you the N-word and stuff. Like whatever you want to volunteer, and I'm just all ears and compassion.
I always pause because I got to think about the statute of limitations for some of these stories. I'm just kidding. Look at your face. You're like, you're a criminal in my house. No, but I think
it's really nice how you protected your father.
Thank you. We tell jokes, and you put stories together that make the people laugh, and that's our job as writers. For the same reason why rappers shouldn't get arrested for rap songs, comedians shouldn't be questioned for comedic stories, right?
Yeah. One like the show that I'm doing in Venice Beach next week, I wanted, and it's why I invited you, that I think the greatest gift that we have to give, we've all heard this said before, is your story. And I think you have a really powerful story. So
we're filming.
That's why I enjoy being your friend. That's why I invited you to do the show. And that's why I love seeing you do stand-up comedy. So
it makes me happy. You've been around a lot of comedians, and for my personality to pique your interest as someone who's been around so many people is always very, very humbling and special. When the older guys kind of take me and talk to me and hang out with me and stuff, love that. My favorite part of being a comedian, especially LA comic. So you guys are awesome. I love you guys for real.
You guys are me.
You guys, Jeff Ross, I can name other people, but you guys that I get to watch, and I'm like, that's years of experience on stage and touring the world and the country. And I get to know this guy, and it's kind of like I explained to another comedian that's on the same level as me. It's like when you work for corporate and you get to hang out with the presidents, and you're like a low level, like entry level person. You know what I'm saying? It's really cool. So I appreciate that always. So yeah, man. Thank you.
I think you're a beautiful human being and a great comedian, and long may you run, Pink Foxx. Long may you run. Hooray for humanity.